Welcome to the Black Dread. I am the Black Dread, Billie Jean.
The Last Targaryen.
Got a quick one here for you today. This is not really a House of the Dragon update. This is more of a response to a House of the Dragon video that I saw recently. So, those of you who know, House of the Dragon, big show coming on HBO, coming soon. It's in production. If you guys are interested in, there's been a lot of new casting news and, actors being cast as certain characters. If you want to know all about that, you're going to check out The Dragon Demands. Now, I'm going to respond to one of the videos that he did. Now, this is in no way takedown or anything like that. I just wanted to give my thoughts on the video, which was too long to put in the comments. So here we are. So, House of the Dragon. He's The Dragon Demands now. He speculates a lot, and he's sometimes, most of the time, he's right about lots of the casting information. He's getting a lot of spy photo. He gets a lot of leaks. He's in charge of the A Song of Ice and Fire wiki, so he's like in the know. So he's like kind of my mentor, my Grand Maester. So he recently did a video stating that he's, based on the casting information that he's got and where they wrapped up filming at certain times and, with certain scenes, he's speculating that season 1 of House of the Dragon is going to end with either two events. He's speculating the coronation of Rhaenyra Targaryen in Dragonstone or the dance over Storm's End. Now, why do I disagree with that? I'll tell you why. Hit it, Germ.
We could have gone to 11, 12, 13 seasons, but I guess they wanted a life.
13 seasons. So think about this now. If we would have kept going the way that George R.R. Martin wanted to go, we would be like in season 11 of Game of Thrones. We would still have so much to go. And if they would have laid it out, like you see how much material this is here. If they would have laid it out properly, we would have maybe have gotten Lady Stoneheart. We may have gotten the John Connington plot with Fagon or Aegon. We might know what R plus L equals. There's so much that we could have done if we would have just fleshed out the story and made it longer. So that brings me to my problem with the speculation, the possibility that House of the Dragon season 1 is going to end, and the final event is going to be the Dance Over Storm's End. So, spoiler alert. I'm going to have to do some spoilers here in order to get my point across. It's already written here. So, this book here is not all, but mostly, like the last half of it, a big part of it is about the Dance of the Dragon. And that's what House of the Dragon is going to be based on. So they're starting, it seems like, with Rhaenyra, who is Viserys' daughter. It seems like they're going to start the plot around the time when she's already being groomed to be queen. And Daemon Targaryen is already on the scene doing his things in the Stepstone. So I'm just like, well, how do we get there? It's like, if Game of Thrones was willing to go to
11, 12, 13 seasons.
13 seasons maybe. So why are we rushing the end of season 1? You're telling me there's a lot of information we have to breathe through. Like, for example, the Gold Cloaks. The Gold Cloaks in Game of Thrones on the TV show. The Gold Cloaks, right? Do you know who started the Gold Cloaks? Lord Fleabottom, Daemon Targaryen. And he is a key player in House of the Dragon. So it's like, don't you want to see how he started the Gold Cloaks and how everything? There are characters like Cregan Stark. There's so many subplots. This is such a rich history. And I'm like, okay, I'm mad because it's like, I feel like you owe it to us because they took Game of Thrones, the show, which was based off the main material, not the little Duncan Ed plots, which we have side stories of, 10,000 ships of Cordless Flare, not the side plots. We're talking about the main story, and they took it and they rushed it. I mean, like, I still to this day, I can't do a video breakdown season of 7 or season 8 or anything because I just get so angry and because it's just so frustrating how they just rush through everything. They skip plots. They said for lack of a better term, they dumbed it down so that they said basketball players and soccer moms can watch it. But I'm like, come on, man. I want the fantasy elements. We want to see everything. I don't want to just rush through and have like love stories with Jon and Daenerys. And I don't want to just see, the conflict between Daemon and Rhaenyra. And I don't want them to focus. I want them to focus on everything. We have the opportunity to do everything.
Could have gone to 11, 12, 13 seasons.
So I'm like, so why aren't we taking our time with this? We have, okay. If I had my way, the show would start with the opening scene would be the death of Jaehaerys. Either the death of Jaehaerys, or while at the funeral of Jaehaerys, they're flashing back to the Grand Council of 101. So we can lay out the precedent, so we can understand why these things are happening. Why is it that Rhaenyra is fighting for the Iron Throne? Why is it that people are saying she shouldn't have it, you know? So, because people who don't take the time to read the material are not going to know. So I'm just, you know, when I saw that, I'm just like, all right, the part of it ending with Rhaenyra's coronation, that skips over the whole, you know, they're going to show flashbacks, but okay, 10 episodes. Think about it. Now we get 10 episodes in a season. So in 10 episodes, they're going to breeze past the Daemon Targaryen conflict with Viserys, the romance and affairs and all the possible backstabbing and scheming going on through Mushroom's point of view. We're going to skip through all of the drama with the children, little Lucerys and Arrax, and Lucerys and Aemon One-Eye, and the fight with Joffrey, and all, you know, we're gonna see it, but they're gonna breeze past it. And I'm like, okay, give it one episode. Yeah, no, give it 3 episodes, give it 4 episodes to show out the story. Show them, you know, you have endless possibilities with this. So I'm like, why are you rushing it? 11, 12, 13 seasons. You know, and the other possibility is the dance over Storm's End. Now that is, they want to end it with a big dragon battle, because again, they want to dumb it down. The people want to see more dragons. Do you know that people rank some of the highest, best viewed episodes of Game of Thrones are just the scenes in King's Landing when they're talking? Yeah, we like the Watchers on the Wall. We like the Battle of the Bastards. You know, we like the big scenes and everything. We like the spectacle, but some of the best scenes, the best scene for me is Littlefinger and Varys talking, you know, oh, shudder. Ooh. You know, you remember that scene? So it's like, that was the best scene. There was no dragons. There was no CGI. It was 2 people playing the Game of Thrones in the Red Keep. And it's like, so they want to dumb it down. We need more dragons. There's going to be all these dragons. Okay, we know it's the dance for the dragons, but let's get the story. We don't just want to see dragons fighting, you know. So if you end season 1 with Lucerys and Arrax, the mighty dragon Arrax, and the battle over Storm's End between Lucerys and Aemon One-Eye, who's riding mighty Vhagar, the dragon. If you end the scene with that, that's a great scene, but why not push that over to season 2? You know, I'm thinking if you're going to have to breeze through, you know, the story to get to the dance, if you just want to do that in the first season and set it up and still tell a lot more in flashbacks, then I say, okay, maybe end it with the death of Viserys. Tell that story in chronological order from maybe, you know, like I said, the death of Jaehaerys to the ascension of Viserys, and then his throne, and you can just breeze the 5, 6 episodes. We can show some flashbacks, We're never get taller, bigger, because we already have the 2 actresses to play younger and older, so we can do that. And then, you know, he dies, and I already have the scene written in my head. Like, I already wrote it in my head. It's like, okay, you know, spoiler. So they find Viserys, he's died, and the guard, he's the only one who knows, and he runs over to tell, you know, Queen Alicent, you know, Viserys is dead. We must ring the bells and call the Sisters of the Night. We must make all the preparation for the ascension of whomever, you know? So, and he goes to run out the room, and Alicent Hightower says, wait! And it fades to black, and it goes off, because, you know, at that moment, that's when she decides that, no, we are not putting Rhaenyra on the throne. We are putting my son, Aegon II, on the throne, the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. And why is he the rightful heir? Well, you have to know what happened in the Grand Council of 101. And why are we not going to see the Grand Council of 101?
Could have gone to 11, 12, 13 seasons.
We should be able to see that. I mean, they could just do one scene, a flashback of all the lords. I mean, you don't even have to do, it was such a big deal. It took them 6 months to organize it, but you could just show 1 or 2 scenes with a table full of the main lords at the last few candidates, you know, Laenor Velaryon, Queen Rhaenys, and young Viserys, the son of the Spring Prince. So, you know, we can just see that scene in there when they say, this is the precedent. This is why that happens. We are settled. It is Viserys. He's the king. Okay. And now he doesn't have a son. His name's Rhaenyra. Okay, fine. But then he has a son. You know, you see? So you have to know these things there. So basically, that's my problem, because it's like you cheated us out of Game of Thrones. I feel like you owe us. You owe us, I almost cursed it, you owe us because they gave us D&D, and instead of just hiring new writers, and then everybody says, okay, well, maybe if Gurm would have finished Winds of Winter, we would have gotten, D&D would have been more inspired to continue. But I doubt that, because they started the show's quality when they didn't do certain things that happened in like the third book. That's season 3. You knew it was, they didn't do Lady Stoneheart. They didn't do the Dornish plot. They didn't do a lot of things. It's like you already knew it was going off the rails. And then later on in season 7 and 8, and when you start seeing only 6 episodes per season, and the abysmal writing and the contrivance and the plot, I can't even talk about it. So, you know how bad it was. You know your Littlefinger's death, Sansa. You saw that. So it's like, I don't have to go over it. So I'm just like, you guys owe us. You did us a real disservice with that, and I'm not happy. And I don't want to see House of the Dragon in 3 seasons or 4 seasons. I want to see a lot of seasons. We can get it. They've given this guy a blank check, and I'm just thinking also too, if the season is good and they make up for the failure that was the end of Game of Thrones, the TV show, then maybe Gurm will be like, okay, because right now we have Duncan Egg project coming. We have, other side projects going. But what we want is Winds of Winter. And maybe he'll be like, okay, I can, go ahead and put this book out because people are crying and screaming for a Song of Ice and Fire material. They want it. It's back again on top, That's just my thoughts. I don't know. What do you think? But that's just what Blackjack thinks. So yeah, I believe that we have enough material here. Then this is also a different story because, like I said, we don't have Winds of Winter here. So it's understandable that this ending of the Game of Thrones series would be a little shaky because we don't have the final 2 books, Winds of Winter and A Dream of Spring. However, House of the Dragon is based off of a whole complete story. We have a beginning, a middle, and an end. We have everything. We know everything. So it's like we can tell that story for a long time. Let's talk about Lionel Beesbury. I want to see one flashback, one scene of a young Lionel Beesbury. Just throw something in there and him becoming master of whatever he was, coin or whatever he was. Just show me something. Let's just like flesh it out. So at that final scene, when Lionel Beesbury gets whatever happens to him, because we still have this unreliable narrative. Mushroom says this, they say Christian Cole did that, slit his throat, did he go out the window? So it's like when that happens to him, we won't just not care. He's just some old guy, master of coin. We'll know that's that guy who we saw him when he was a young guy. He first got the King's Land. Just show one scene. You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you, HBO. You can do it. All right. So I'm going to end this here, like I always end, with the words of House Targaryen. Fire. And please make the show.
Could have gone to 11, 12, 13 seasons.
13 seasons. All right, let me see. I think you put your hand here, you switch your grip, you slide and push it up. I can't get this move. My head.